Hello and welcome. This is Chrisanne. I'm coming at you from Elemental Energies with Chrisanne. We're going to be doing a bit of watercoloring today, and we're going to be doing some fun things with the watercolor. So we're going to create these watercolors, then we're going to cut them into strips, and then we're going to turn them into belly bands. So let's get started. This is such an easy, simple way to add color, fun, whimsy to your journals, and it doesn't take much skill or supplies, frankly. So I have this watercolor pan here. It is by Mungio. I got it on Amazon quite a while ago. I hope to remember to link it. If I don't, let me know. So I have my spritzer. I am just gonna go ahead, whoops, let me turn on. Let me just spritz all of this. So when you're using watercolor, it's good to have it activated, to have it wet and ready to go. We're gonna let that sit for a moment or two, and I'm going to give my paper a little bit of a spritz as well. Now, I'm in a super tight space here. Whoops. So what we're going to do, and I'm working with a wet brush, and it's a 12 round. It's a large brush that I'm working with. And we are just going to start with some light colors. So I'm starting with this pink, and I'm just putting, I should have started with the yellow actually. Let's go to the yellow next. And I'm just putting some color down, and I am touching to the last color that I did, because my paper here, and I'm just going to move up the colors here, because my paper here is nice and wet. These are going to start to flow. Let me put that there. And let's just keep adding. I'm going to do a little bit more water. I think my water just fell. Yep, it did. Hold on. Let me grab my spritzer bottle here. Okay, so I'm going to spritz my my watercolors. Just a smidge more. Okay, so we're going to work up into some reds. Now you can see I'm just putting color down. If the paper starts to dry out a little bit, spritz it. Spritz it with water. And I'm just going to kind of keep working up. And I'm just adding, I don't know, kind of globs of color. And any place there's little spots that you want to fill in, feel free to fill them in. Eventually, I want to have all of this nice and covered and saturated and colorful. And there's no sort of particular way I'm doing any of this. Here's that pink I started with. So now let's go to some greens, which isn't really gonna match, but that's okay. See, my brush is a little on the dirtier side there, but that's okay with me. Oops, I touched into blue. Let's go to a couple other greens here. going to keep spritzing, keep adding water. So this is working wet on wet technique. Wet watercolor onto a wet paper. It's not quite wet enough there. There. See how it's spreading out? That's what you want. All right. Oh, did I drop my water again? No, I didn't. So let's come in with a little bit of blue. I need to add some more water here. I'm gonna come in with some blue. Love that color. Kind of fill in here. I'm just kind of smushing it all over the place, really. I'm not being so, I don't know, delicate with it. I'm getting color all over. Let's see, let's go to a couple more blues up here. I'm going to come in with some water with that in just a second. And I am getting the entire paper. I know some of it's off screen here. I'm getting right to the edges everywhere and getting all of this covered, saturated. I like color. Okay, let me get some more water going here. I like color. I like bright, cheery kind of things. Okay, let me spray my watercolor one more time, and we are going to, oops. Let me see what colors. Let's do some purples. And we're just gonna fill all of this right up. I have some white cardstock underneath all of this. And it's okay to have different hues of the same colors, spread the same colors around. I know some of this isn't total. Oh yeah, it is. You're getting it. Okay. All right, I'm good with that. I'm gonna put my brush in my water thing, kind of swish that around. I get these covered water holders at the Dollar Tree because look, I can lock it down like that, and if I spill it, it doesn't spill out as much. It still spills out, but it doesn't spill out as much. It's still, I don't know, problematic. Okay, let me grab my heat gun here, and we're gonna dry this. We're gonna move this on a little more. So if you wanna cover your ears, here's your cue to cover your ears. Okay, I know, that was a lot. It's still wet. Now, I anticipated that. So we're gonna make, let me hang this back up here. We are gonna make another one while we let this one dry. It's mostly dry, but it's still wet. I'm gonna come in, clean up all of this with my towel. All these sort of splotchy bits. There's a big wet spot down here. I'm gonna try and dab. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if I hit my heat gun on it. It's still all wet right there too. That's okay. Okay. Yeah, Cassie Rose is in here. So we are going to lay this relatively flat over here. I debated doing this project outside because I could have laid these just in the sun. Oh, I should have said I'm using Strathmore Watercolor 9x12. It's 140 pound, 300 GSM or GM, whatever it's called. This one has a little bit of green on it. That's perfect because we will be adding a lot of color. Okay, where did I just put my brush? I just had my brush. Oh, I'm constantly doing this. I mean, I have other brushes here. Oh, here it is. Is this it? No, that's not it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So I need to reignite the watercolors here. Because I'm in a teeny tiny space. I'm going to hold the watercolors off camera, and if I need to wet that, I will just kind of go as I go. So let's use some yellow. Do some orange. A bit of red. And I'm just kind of doing dots and just kind of going around those dots and blobs. And you can see I'm using different color reds, different color oranges. There. Let's add a little bit of that pink. I know I'm adding cool and warm tones together. It doesn't faze me for this. I know sometimes your eye does something funky when you have those sort of mixed tones. My goal is to just get color on the page. There. Let's come over here to some of these purples. Okay, we need a lot more water. Let's put that over there. me grab a little more purple. Oh, it's the paint that needs the water. Hold on. Okay, bonging everything with my brush. Okay, here we go. There. Let's move that out of my way. Oh, all my things that I have right here are falling. All right. This is pooling over here. So let's bring that over here. All right. This part, the watercolor part, goes really quickly. I just want that to spread. See how that's spreading when I added the water? Okay, let me put some water on this. Clean my brush off again. And then let's put, where's my, oh, here's my cloth. I was looking for my cloth. Dry this off with my cloth. Let's get my heat gun again. It's going to be noisy, FYI. Okay, we're gonna let that dry, and I can still see it's a lot wet right there. So let's lift this, put that over there. Let me get my cloth, wipe up. Some of this is like condensation from using the heat gun. Okay, let's look at that first one. Pretty good. We'll see how that goes. Now, the next thing that we are going to do, that I just had right here, hold on. Oh, here it is. We are going to take our black pens. I have a couple different black pens. I have the EK Tools .45 millimeter, and then I have this really fine point gel pen. What we are going to do, and this has to be dry for this to work. We are going, this one doesn't work. Of course, that one doesn't work. Let's try this one. Yeah. We are going to come in and we are going to outline. You can do straight lines, you can do squiggle lines. And we are outlining the watercolor. In my mind, some of my blobs look like flowers. let's I'm just sort of following along with the colors and just sort of letting my pen kind of go where it goes. Looking at some, let's do a line there. Let's just do all the flowery, what I'm calling flowers. And I didn't do them to be flowers. I did them to just, I don't know, be blobs. Sort of blobs of color. And keep in mind, we're cutting this up. So what you see here isn't what you're going to see once we cut it up. Which is some of the beauty in working with this whole blob sort of idea. The more sort of freer form that you can be with your pen, the more interesting your designs can be. Just generally following along on those watercolor lines. You're looking for the shadows, you're looking for the light, you're looking for the dark, and allowing that to dictate where your lines go. Now, some of these don't look like flowers, some of these do look like flowers. Do you have to do all of this? No. But I'm following along with the highs and the lows, the texture gradations of the color of the watercolor. And some of these are a little more flowery looking than others. They don't have to look like flowers. Okay, I kind of like that section. This section, can make these kind of leafy. I mean, that kind of looks flowery with a leaf to me. Can make this kind of leafy looking. I mean, you can exaggerate some of the lines too. There. Let's check and see how dry. Oh, that's all wet right there. Right where I put my hand. All right, let me grab my cloth. This one's going to be much more flowery. I need to do my heat gun once again on this, so cover your ears. If the paper starts to curl, do both sides. So every time I see the paper curl, I try and do both sides. All right, so let's do these. Cassie Rose is in here. All right, now see, these to me are a little more flowerier. And when you do some of this sort of exaggerated lines, I think it's prettier. There, I'm good with that one. And if you think of the petals on a rose or something rose-like, there's multiple layers that you peel back to get to that center. There. There. And I'm just very free form with this. I mean, it's scribbling. That's the best way to describe it. It's artistic scribbling. And just keep making layers. Now, my plan is to cut these apart and make belly bands with them. But how pretty is this if I were to cut it up and make cards with it as well? So I think we're going to do both. I do have a whole bunch of cards I have to make. Once you get into this, you see the different layers and colors of the paint, and you allow the paint to sort of dictate where your pen goes. There. Okay, this is my beginning part of the drawing. So let me give you a little bit more of a close-up before I come in and cut all of this up. So there's that one. Here's this one. So I'm thinking that I'm going to cut, this one's going to be belly bands. And I think I'm going to cut some of this for cards. And of course I have my black cardstock here. I think this is going to fit. Yeah, that's going to fit in here. Just barely fit. how wide should we do our belly band? Because I'm going to be layering my belly bands. So let's... We're going to do this 2 inches. So there's that one. This makes a ton. This is a pretty decent thick watercolor. Yeah. So there's those. Now the cards. There we go. Let's do 4 inches for the cards. And then I'll cut that up in a minute additionally. Or should I do 5? Let's do 5. And then we'll do this for, no, let's do this one first. We'll do this 4. Yeah. This one 4. And then we'll do this 5. And that's a leftover one that we'll make. We'll do that with a card too. And then, how big is this? 3. So let's do 4.5. And when it comes to it, let's just trim that edge off now, because I don't like that. There. There. Okay, let's look at what we have. So these, well, this is going to be like tag or a label or something. I'm going to keep that too. So these are going to be used on greeting cards. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. Oh, I love that one. So let's do some additional, oh, let me show you these first before we do that. These are going to be the layered belly bands. That one, that one, that one. I love the color in these. And then those, cool. So what I want to do is I want to come in, never underestimate the power of dots and circles. All different sizes. See? How cool is that? There. Let's do some circles here. I try not to have them in a row. all of this is going to get mounted onto black cardstock. There. And I'm trying to do all different sort of size circles. Now I don't know if I'm going to do any of the circles on those belly band ones. I think I just mostly like the color combinations. These are going to fall. This one's pretty. There. Okay, let's double check these. Yeah. I could maybe do some on that one and that one, but I don't think I'm going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some black cardstock. This is what I use. The Astro Brights cardstock. And for the belly bands, I'm going to have to trim these down lengthwise because they're longer or taller than what my books are. Whoops. There we go. Long and everything. Okay, so I think I did these at 2, didn't I? That's a little over 2. That one's 2. Okay, that must have been an end one. All right. So let's do most of these at 2. I mean, no. 2.5. There. See? Doesn't that just elevate it to have the black on it? So let's just do a whole bunch at 2.5. How many do we have? That one, that one, that one, that one. Okay, I need 2 more. Okay, now I'm going to have these end to end. So what I think I'm going to do is glue all of these together because mine doesn't measure all the way out, so I can't use the numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue all of these together and then come in and trim the excess. That is the easiest for me. In the meantime, should we cut some of the, well, let's do the belly bands first. Even if I save these and do cards with them later, I can certainly do that. Glue, here we go. if I wanted to leave these belly bands as is, you certainly could, but I'm probably going to come in, when I put it in my actual journal, I'm probably going to decorate it more, whether it be adding stickers or rubber stamps. This watercolor paper is thick and it's curving. So here, let's just put this on top of it. It's not very heavy. Let's do this end. The good thing is I can sort of pick which end I want to cut off. There. I think that just looks so pretty. And you know, the other good thing about these is it doesn't matter what the theme of your journal is. These are so bright, cheery, and colorful. It kind of matches anything. I like this end. A little bit of extra glue there, but it dries clear. Not super strong, but it's a something. I think, well, all right, we'll do this end. And it will still keep some of the purple down at the other end. Oh, I got glue all over this one. There. Nice. Okay. Do this end. They're very sort of meditative to make. And look at how many we got made. I was using, I think I said, was that a 9 by 12 piece of paper? Look at how many we got out of that. Let's do this end. Let's, there we go. Okay, last belly band. Nice. All right, let's come back to this first one. I just love the colors. You know what, let me use my big scissors instead of getting out my paper cutter. Ooh, nice. Now, down here, if I don't like that, you know what, I can just add a little bit of water and fix it. Let's give all of these a trim. And I'll show you in the end. I'm not going to put the cards together on white paper, I don't think. I might just do one or two of them. Let's see. Oops, I got stuff on that. All right, I'll just leave that there. Let's just go through and show the belly bands. These are so pretty. There's those 4. And those 2. And you know, the other thing is these suckers are sturdy. They're nice and thick because that watercolor paper makes these exceptionally thick with that. I have this here. Let me see this. With that cardstock. This, I don't know if this is going to work. I had a scrap. Let me try it on the scrap first. That's not the scrap. Here it is. This is the scrap. Let's try this. Let me move this. So this is Amsterdam acrylic ink, and it's oxide black. Yeah, it's not doing what I want it to do. Let me get a brush. I had my small brushes. These are kind of my small crappy brushes. And this is acrylic ink. I don't normally like to do this here because it gets everywhere, but I have things there. Yeah, see, that's what I want. Can you see that? Yeah. Let's do that. These are super fine little black lines. Black dots. I don't know if you can see it, but that's what I want. Let's dip this again. I'm removing a lot. Since this gets everywhere, let's just do a couple. There. Once again, that black is just elevating it to being even more artsy. Yeah, I like that. Whoops. I just got this on my phone. I record on my phone. Okay. There. I hope those little fine splatters are showing up. See all through here. Loving it. Let's try a little bit on this. Oh, I have one more belly band to do too. Yeah. That I like. My stuff is all splattered all over there. I bought that little thing to put up. It's in the other room. There. That's pretty. Love that. Now, you could just use watered down acrylic paint as well. I just happen to have this on my desk. I'm trying to not get it on the flowers and get it, well, what I'm calling flowers, and get it all around the flowers. I'm going to put this one up here. There. This one's much, much, much subtler. Don't know if you can see that one. And then I have two. Yeah, let's do both of these. Nice. There. Loving that. And look at all this. I can cut this up and use this in a lot of future projects. All right, I do need to rinse this. It's going to be a disaster. The quicker you can clean your brushes when you're painting, the better. Okay, that's not too bad. Where'd my cloth go? I'm sure I'm looking right at it. Oh, here it is. Clean this up. I'm going to clean these up. This is covered. But at least it saved everything else from getting completely covered. So far so good. Now let's get rid of this first of all. And let's get some black paper, and we are going to do some cards. We're not going to do a lot of cards. We're only going to do a couple. I sort of eyeball the things. 4¼ I think that's going to be too big. Or maybe not. We'll see. Let me get another piece of paper. Cut it. And then we'll just measure this. I have a marking on here for cards. Did I cut this too big? Yeah. You know what? Let me cut it down there. And we'll cut it there. And if I wanted to come in and add some words, I can certainly do that. Let's get all this glued. So I'm getting a bunch of cards made for my show that I'm doing in September, the Enlightenment Expo. It's going to be held at the Fireside Inn and Suites in Portland, Maine, September 27th from 10 to 5. $5 admission gets you into the show. And then there's over 40 vendors. I don't know exactly how many right now. But then there's 6 speakers. I'm going to be the first speaker of the day. Get you into all the speakers for free, and there's going to be raffles throughout the entire day. It gets you free entry into all the raffles. So for $5, you're getting a lot. And I am going to be at the show doing psychic readings, but taking signups for people to do psychic readings for the month of October of 2025. Cash only to pre-book that, and those readings are going to be done using online connectivity measures, whether it be like through Facebook, through just a phone call, whatever. There's so many options I have. I have the list of options. Let's cut this one down. And I am only going to be doing readings at the show for people who are scent free, like I am. I am allergic to anything that contains alcohol. So if you are wearing cologne, perfume, etc., I am anaphylactic to the smell, so I cannot read for you in person. I wear a mask everywhere I go. But if I take an online appointment for you to get an online reading, that doesn't bother me. And it is going to be at a greatly reduced rate. It's going to be my show rate. And I am contemplating opening up a couple of slots of the show rate specials for people who can't attend the show. So let me know if you are interested in that. Check out my website for, and they're going to be abbreviated times as well. So full-length readings are on my website, which is elementalenergieswithchrisanne.com. And abbreviated readings are like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, maybe a half an hour, but abbreviated. Oh, I'm liking these. And maybe if I put like some words in gold, or I just do some Tim Holtz words. I don't know. Do they even need words? They're super artsy. That's what I like about them. All right, I think we're going to end here with the cards. You saw what I had for the cards. I think I'm just going to play around with those and kind of have fun. I might turn some of the edges on those, make some more rounded edges, and make the cards rounded. I don't know yet. Let's do this one. And then, you know, I'll do the same thing on the black paper and the cardstock. All right, now I kind of want to finish this one. All right, we're not going to do the other cards. How about that? Let me grab a piece of paper. Yep. So I'm doing that one at 4.5. Four and a half by 3.25. Oh, did I do that too small? No, that's okay. And I'm gonna put on my paper. Let me see if I can glue stuff on top of it. There, that's a little better. That off. You know what? Let's make it even more off center. There. And what I might do is I can even do the word right up here, like a Tim Holtz word if I choose to, or I can do some gems in the middle here. But you know what else we need to do? I like this one. This one's very artsy because it's off center. I like that. Yeah, neat. Okay, let's go through and let's look. Here, let me put things on top of this. Let's look at all the goodies that we have. So these are going to be future cards. This one. Oh, these are my cards. Where's my other stuff? Oh, all right, let's just go through some of these. I think these are dry. Yeah, got it all over me. That. So we did this card, this card, this card, future card, belly band, belly band, belly band, belly band, belly band. So we have a whole stack of those. Where my other cards go? Oh, I put them up here. Future card. Future card. I think that's all the cards. I think. Yep. I'm not seeing. Is that a card? Nope, that's not a card. Yep, so that's all the cards. Wow, we got a lot of things done. How many belly bands did we get done? Is there anything under here? No. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought I had one more card, but maybe I didn't. So, hey, 12 things made in a smidge over an hour. Not too bad, if I have to say so myself. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this inspires you to just play. Don't worry if you know how to do watercolor or you don't know how to do watercolor. This is a really simple sort of exercise in playing. And then if you want to make cards, you know, that's a pretty thing to give to somebody. Or you want to add this to your journals. I mean, this adds a big pop of color to your journals. And then you can even tuck a card behind it. I do put cards in my journals, so that's a great place, because this is a great place to do some hidden journaling, or the recipient can take this and give this as a card to somebody. I don't always put envelopes with the cards because a lot of times I intend them to be as hidden journaling. But if somebody needs a card, an envelope, they know where to find me. Or you can go to Michael's, you can go to Hobby Lobby, Amazon, all those fun places. So I hope this has inspired you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel. I have a lot more fun videos coming up. Take care and be free.